This is about a 5-minute video that's going to show you how to make bread from scratch. You're going to start with 1.5 cups of warm water, and then you're going to add your active yeast to the water. And if the yeast is bubbling up, then that means it is fresh and can be used. Then you're going to add about 3 cups of flour. Mix that together. You're going to do a lot of mixing in this recipe, but mix that together until you see these clumps. Then you're going to add your salt, which is about a teaspoon of salt, and a little bit of sweetener. I use maple syrup instead of sugar. You can use sugar. And then you're going to add a little bit more flour. Then go ahead and add your flour to a surface so that you can roll out your dough and smooth it out just a little bit so that you can place it to the side and let it rise. But here you'll see the texture of the dough at this point. It's very sticky. Add it to the flour and you're going to roll out the dough. You don't have to do a lot of kneading or anything. The goal here is just to get it from being so sticky. And go ahead and roll it around in the flour. And here I'm doing more and more, rolling it around just so we can get it from being so sticky. Okay, so I think we're here at a point where we can let the dough rest. You're going to put the dough in a container or a bowl, as you see here, and let it rest typically for about an hour. I let it rest for about 3 hours, and this is what you're doing so that you can give it a chance to rise. You want your dough to rise and get bigger. And I covered it, and this is after 1 hour. So you can see that it rose just a little bit. Then here it is after 3 hours. You can leave it as long as you like. I'd say up to 3 hours is about the longest you want to go. Or you can just let it sit overnight until the next morning. And then you're going to take a spatula and try to remove it from the sides of the bowl because it gets sticky again after it rose a little bit. And what I did was I put a little flour in there and I just let it sit on top of the dough. And here I'm adding flour again so that I can knead the dough just a little bit to form the bread. And you know, the way I want the bread to look. So you're going to sort of mold it into your bread, your actual bread. So you go ahead and do that. And what you want to do is just kind of keep flipping it over until you get the shape that you want into your loaf of bread. And what you want to do is kind of pinch it. So here you're going to score it. And this is, from what the bread makers are saying, is going to sort of help it ventilate so that your bread can rise in the right places. Okay. And then you can put parchment paper down. I know that you don't have to have parchment paper, but it just makes your cleanup easier. Here I just put flour underneath my loaf of bread and I put the bread into this iron cast pan and I put it in the oven for about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. So after 30 minutes, I saw that it was rising and I went ahead and took it out. And here is the result of baking my own bread from scratch. All you need are those ingredients. You can even add herbs to it if you'd like, cheese to it if you'd like. I like to keep my bread simple, but this is the result. Look how hot and fresh that bread is, and it tasted really, really good. So I encourage you to make bread yourself at home from scratch, and that way you'll know what ingredients are in your bread, and you'll know it's healthy and it's the best bread for you. All right. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope it helps. Take care.